Rugby World Cup, weather, language, rules. The World Cup I've never had before. Our goal is to have 1,000 channel subscribers. If you like, please register on the channel.
The first Rugby World Cup in Asia, Japan. A reporter from a rugby-based British BBC Sport who has covered past events has said, "It's totally different from before."
Unpredictable. Chris Jones, BBC Rugby Union reporter. I never know what will come out of Japan. Don't get bored. It's all fun. For example, it seems impossible to predict the weather. Every day, if you think it's perfect weather, you'll be hit by a downpour. Breakfast requires raw beef, fish stew, donuts and cakes to be prepared for anything. For a polite and reserved nation, the Japanese love to take off while enjoying good food and drinks. Karaoke boxes are often used when they're like that. Presentational grill line. Magnus. Tom Fortier, BBC chief sports writer. Every World Cup requires an amazing game in the first round. It may disrupt the established order, upset the expectations, and eventually see the games that were not watched because they were decided. In 2007, Fiji defeated Wales. In 2011, Tonga beat France. And in 2015, Japan's famous victory in South Africa. What this World Cup shows is not an isolated one-time victory, but a story that will probably continue forever. If Japan makes its debut in the final tournament for the first time in the history of the team, Scotland will be miserable, but it will be great for the tournament. Other than Japan, Tier 2 countries are struggling, making it a headache for rugby, an international organization for rugby. If host countries reach the top 8, they will be able to cover up the innumerable problems in the rugby world.
Japanese fan. Lewis X. William, BBC Radio 5 Live, Rugby Union producer. The enthusiasm of Japanese fans in this World Cup is even greater than any other World Cup I have ever covered. Not only do they buy jersey for all the teams they've watched, they learn French national anthems and they are passionate about it.
Paul Grayson, former English national flight half BBC Radio 5 live commentator. This is the first time that such a warm response has been received, even though only a little local language has been available. Hello, I'm sorry, I can say about 6 out of a wide range of events in Japanese. The reaction of the person who speaks to them is really fun. They speak well in Japanese. I nodded and smiled and pointed at him. You feel welcome and at the same time you feel foreign. Even if you speak English loudly, you won't be able to do anything here, and it should be.
Rugby Union producer. The Japanese love the rules. It's a tight-fitting and easy way to live in Japan. At the intersection, everyone waits until the traffic lights turn blue. It's a back road where nobody else is there. There is a sign on the platform of the train where the line is made, and no one breaks the line. The train is on time, and if it is delayed more than 1 minute, an apology will be broadcast. Besides, I have to take off my shoes at home. Sports gyms can't go in without shoes, and everyone has to wear a hat in the pool.
Hospitality. Gulls Lewis, BBC Radio 5 Live, commentator. The best time ever was when a bottle of Marmite came out of a small bar and restaurant in Tokyo. I entered the shop to see the England-American match and settled in a place where there were no Westerners.
After almost all the guests spoke in English, the bar owner, who was so glad to see the English guests, took out the Marmite bottle from the back of the counter. And we let them do that and took pictures. Now, about rugby. I don't have any expectations, but it was a very special experience to see Wales beat Australia for the first time in 32 years. When watching TV at home, it's not quiet, but it's common to experience each pass, each kick, and an intolerable moment of tension. It was an unforgettable experience. To explain it all in the game,